that I found, which they did in the Delta also. And you'll notice one thing, I have a horsehair string. It's horsehair against horsehair. It's not a gut or a metal string. But they're all traditional Mississippi Delta instruments. You know?
Fascinating. Thank you so much. Your name again and question.
I'm Diane Schuler from Hershey, Pennsylvania. And I'd first like to thank Linda and Ed for being here today. This has just been a fabulous program. I also don't know if the audience is aware that at the International Storytelling Center, Linda and Ed's picture is up on the Wall of Fame. And she's a internationally renowned storyteller, and I thank you for gracing us today. I have one question. I've learned after going 20 years to the Storytelling Festival in Jonesboro that there are different categories of stories. There are ghost stories, there are stories for healing, there are heritage stories. Could you sort of give us a broad idea of what different categories there are? Because I'm sure I'm not aware of all of them.
There are all kinds of stories that you find all over the world. There are fairy tales, and the most popular fairy tale in the world is Cinderella. And there are 1,200 versions of the Cinderella story. There are tales of how and why, tales of adventure, oral history, fables, you know, family tales, so dilemma stories, you know, so there are all kinds of stories.
Mm-hmm. Hi, your name and your questions for our guests.
My name is Alberta Ham. I'm from Harrisburg. And the one question that I was wondering about, because I know I got my exercise this afternoon, are some of these songs really designed so that you can get people to do their exercises?
Well, these are play party songs, which means they're stories, rhythm, games, and a story and a song. They're a combination. And traditionally, these were played outside, out in the play yards, the backyards, on the front porch. And while the adults were picking the peas and shucking the beans, the children were playing these play party songs. And they've just been handed on down, so they were full of rhythm. And this was when children didn't watch a lot of television. So you stayed outside all day playing marbles and hopscotch and all hid. And so these were stories, these play party songs are a part of that.
Okay, and then I just want to say thank you to both of you for making this afternoon here such a wonderful time for all of us. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
And thank you for your question. Linda, do you hear people practicing play party songs much? Is it a lost art? Is it something that people are still doing, or what?
It is becoming a lost art. In Philly, you see some children doing double dutch, the jump rope, and that's very valuable. You see some of the hand claps, but today a lot of children play inside and they play with video games. So that's one of my goals, is to travel all over the country and bring it back and encourage the parents as well as the children to pass it on down.
Okay. I've got a lovely group of young ladies here. Tell us your names and your question for our guests.
My name is Grace, and my question is, what brought you two together to start storytelling?
Well, I think we met in the 80s, and I met Papa Ed at a school. My daughter attended that school, and he was playing drums with a friend, and I loved the way he was doing it. And so I said, Papa Ed, I'm a storyteller. Would you like to work with me? And he said, yes. And we worked together a couple of years, and then Papa Ed got a job, a 9-to-5 job, and he abandoned me. And then he retired, and so we hooked back up. So we've been working together again, I guess, for the last several years now. But we worked in the 80s, and we traveled all over.
Wow. And the rest is history, as
yes,
they say,
the rest
right?
is history. Mm-hmm.
Hi, your name and your question.
My name is Darian, and my question is for Papa Ed. What is your favorite instrument to play?
Well, I have so many. One is a harmonica, and I like one-stringed instruments. Like I play bid'em-bow, I play diddly-bow, I play fiddle, I play mouth bow. I have a fascination with just that one string. But I would go as far as to say the diddly-bow and harmonica.
Actually, his favorite instrument is the diddly-bow. Tell them the truth, Papa Ed. What is that diddly-bow's name?
Jessie May.
That's our other performer that we forgot to mention today. Your name and your question.
My name is Kara, and my question is directed to Papa Ed. What inspired you to become a musician?
Well, it goes way back. I think I wanted to be a musician before I even knew I was going to go that way. Because even when I was small, they didn't call them videos. I used to go watch movies of different parts of Africa. And in high school, out of all I've done in my life, I've always come back to music. So I think it was just something that was there that I just pursued. You know?
Your name and your question.
My name's Steve Anderson. I'm a storyteller and living history interpreter here in the Harrisburg area. In fact, Tracy, we're going to be meeting again on another installment of Humanities on the Road. But Linda, I want to say this was absolutely beautiful and inspiring. You were talking earlier about how storytelling is about entertainment, but also about teaching. Just wondering, aside from the big smile we all have on our faces, what's one idea or one thought or one lesson you'd like us to take away today?
Is really to take away the enjoyment of a story, and sharing that story. It's very important to listen to a story, and it's equally important to share a story, to tell something to someone else. And it's also important to ask them for a story, to do an exchange. And I think that's very important because, again, that makes us human beings. And that's why we really love communicating with each other. And storytelling really is the root of communicating. We have television and video now, but everything goes back to a story. Even the cave paintings, those paintings are telling a story. So everything goes back to the seed of a good story.
I have a question for Linda. I first would like to thank you. This has been amazing. And one of the things that I was really impressed and just enchanted with was your use of movement and song to bring everybody into the experience. And I'm wondering if you could recommend either a definitive collection of stories or a recording of these play party songs that could be utilized in working with groups.
I would like to recommend mine.
Okay.
I'm on the Folkways Archival Smithsonian, and I have to recommend Ella Jenkins. She has about 30 albums out, and she's also with Folkways. And you can just download them, one song at a time. In terms of books, Step It Down by the story songs of Bessie Jones. I think that was edited by Bess Hawks Lomax. And also my anthology, Talk That Talk. Many of the story songs you heard today are in Talk That Talk.
Linda, I'm just wondering, as I watched you and Papa Ed, and we all got such a good workout, and there were a lot of laughs and a lot of smiles, just about the power of storytelling of this type to lift the spirits. I mean, you can't stay in a bad mood and do these kinds of stories and act them out, and just talk about the power that it has just to lift the human spirit.
Well, as I say, storytelling is medicine for the spirit, healing for the soul. And that's one of my sayings is in my storytelling rap. And again, I do all kinds of storytelling. I think that's important to share with the young people that some of the raps are here. I don't like all of the raps, but rapping is a part of storytelling. And again, I encourage people to tell your story in your own particular way. If you like to do a quilt, that's telling a story. If you like to paint, if you like to sing or dance, you tell your story in your own very special way. And that really is the beauty and the power of storytelling, is that it empowers us. It gives us the voice, or if we want to do sign language, it gives us the mechanism to get that story out.
Take a cue from the frog, right?
Yes, ribbit.
We have learned so much about African American storytelling, and boy, did we have a good time doing it. Special thanks to Linda Goss and to Papa Ed Stokes for their wonderful performance. Thanks to our audience and to the Pennsylvania Cable Network for making this possible. And of course, we want to thank our wonderful hosts, the Midtown Scholar Bookstore in downtown Harrisburg and Jump Street, which is a wonderful organization that promotes the arts all across the Harrisburg area. By the way, if you're interested in more information about our shows, and there are a number of them, make sure you check us out. We're on Facebook and Twitter. We've got a TV blog, www.humanitiesontheroad.org, and that'll give you lots of information about upcoming shows, about the Pennsylvania Humanities Council, and everything you need to know. Before we wrap up, what do you say we invite Linda and Papa Ed to close us out with a rousing rendition of All Hid?
Okay, thank you. Are you ready out there? Are you ready over there? All his. All his. Papa, are you ready? One and a two and a here we go. Last night before, 25 blackbirds at my door. I got up, let them in, hit them in the head with a rolling pin. All his. All his. 5, 10, 15, 20. All his. All his. All his. 5, 10, 15, 20. All his. Clap your hands. 25, 35, 45, 50, 55, 60. All his. All his. 5, 10, 15, 20. All his. 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. All his. All his. 5, 10, 15, 20. All his. Jack beat nimble, Jack beat quick, Jack jumped over the candlestick. Little ball pick and blow your horn, deep in the meadow, cows and corn. Tom, the piper's son, stole a pig and away he run. Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife but couldn't keep her. Juba this, Juba that, Juba caught a yellow cat. I spot, bumbo pie, how many blackbirds in my pie? All his, all his, all his, 5, 10, 15, 20, all his, all his, all his, 5, 10, 15, 20, all his. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Come on, keep singing. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine.